Hey, what's up? You're back. Okay, in this video we're going to talk to you about tools that you need to get started with, just the basic tools that you need in auto body work. Now, I get a lot of emails from people, Tony, what do I need? Do I need this? Do I need that? Should I buy this? Should I get that? Here's a fact. 90% of auto body work can be done by plain elbow grease, okay, by working your arm. That's 90% of auto body work. All these extra tools and things, it's to speed the process and make it a little faster and easier if you know what you're doing. But I really highly suggest when you're just starting out, try little areas and do it with your hand, with a block. And let me show you some of the tools. You're going to need a little hammer and dolly set. This is just my old hammers. Sorry if they're not nice and pretty. But just some basic body hammers, okay, to tap dents out and work with the metal. You're going to need a little bit of Bondo. It's not tools, this is actually a material. This is Body Fill by Evercoat. Okay, just a little quart size. You're going to need some sandpaper. Okay, you could buy them in rolls like this, or you can buy the little sheets. Okay, this is comes in a roll like this. This is $150 on a sticky pad. Okay, but you don't need that. All you really need is a block, so you can sand your bodywork flat. A block, your body filler, little hammers, a spreader. You could have these metal ones. I used to use these a lot, but I don't really use them too much now. I like the plastic ones. Easy to take off the Bondo, the old hard Bondo off, and easy to work with. When they get old and drunk, you just toss them. They're only 50 cents each. You use this to mix up your putty and spread it on, okay? Then you could go with your sandpaper and sand the area down, right? After you have it sanded, you have your primer. You prime it. After you prime it, then you follow the rest of the steps. It's pretty easy. You don't need no fancy tools for it. But, you know, if you have a little bit more money to invest, not a lot of money, just a little bit more, you could go ahead and invest yourself in a little orbital sander. Okay? It's an orbital sander. It's a palm sander, pneumatic. You plug your air in it, and it vibrates like an orbital sander, and it cuts your body filler down a lot quicker. And it's flat, so you can do your body work areas pretty easily. And this takes a lot of time off. I would say it cuts off 75% of your time, 80% of your time, just by going over the bodywork areas with this. But you have to make sure you know what you're doing, have the proper technique, or else you're going to cut it down too quickly maybe, and you're going to have to mix more putty up and put it back in, right? So, you know, this is for if you're getting serious into it, you want to invest an extra $100, pick up one of these things, and go for it. But you really don't need this when you're first starting out. It's just an extra accessory. Same thing as the straight sander. I also have a straight sander. It's a long sander about that big. I have it over there, but it's good for if you're doing a big door skin, big flat areas on a car or whatever you're working on, a bus or something. You can cut down the body filler flat, nice and straight. This way you don't have to worry about waves. But I cover more of that stuff in the course if you check it out. But so we have that stuff and a spray gun. You're going to need a little basic spray gun. This is my Sada Jet. Okay, I got this about 7 years now. It's a long time, pretty old, but it works excellent. As long as you keep them clean, they'll last you forever. My father has spray guns that he has for 25 years and they still work great. Okay, so this is my Sada high volume, low pressure spray gun. If you buy the new version like this, you're looking at about $700–800. Okay, I think I paid about $650 for this one a while ago. All right, but it's a digital. You can have your air pressure. Check it out right here. Or if you don't get the digital type, you could get the basic type where you have your gauge on the bottom over here, little dial over here. Okay, those are cheap, about $10. You can put them on the end of your spout over here. I personally started with a $100 Star. It's called a Star gun. $100 I paid. It was actually cheaper than $100. It was like $90. And it was made in China. Star gun. And that's what I started with. I started on painting little mopeds and motorcycles, and I got better and better, and I started painting a car at age 15. It's my first car I painted. It was actually a single stage system in enamel, in a white enamel, and that was my first car I painted with that gun. And it came out really nice, and I was really impressed of what you could do with your own hands. It's a very cool skill to have. Anyway, a few years afterwards, when I was about 17 or so, I ended up investing in a SATA, one of the top-of-the-line guns. Devil Biss is good, and Astro is another cheaper brand, but a pretty good spray gun if you want to start. It's kind of like a Star Astro. Look into. I don't know if they make them, but just check online. I know TCPglobal.com has a lot of kits that you can get. You can get yourself like a set of 3 guns for about $100 or so. Very great starter kits, and I highly recommend it. When painting cars, make sure you get a 1.4 fluid tip nozzle over here. 1.4. Okay. Different fluid tips for different things. I cover more of that. And you know, a lot of people ask me, do I need a primer gun? Do I need a base coat gun? Do I need a clear coat gun? Because a lot of the pros like to have separate guns for everything. Me, I have a primer gun. I have a basic primer gun, the bottom feed, siphon type, and I have this. I spray my base coat and my clear coat with this one gun. You really don't need to have 3 different guns. Okay. What I do is I spray my base, clean it out, rinse it, mix my clear coat, bang, bada boom, bada bing, you're in, painting your clear coat, okay? Same thing with enamel. I paint enamels with this. I paint basically everything. I did $10,000 paint jobs. I mean, customers pay me 10 grand to paint their classic cars. I did it with this gun, okay? Base coat, clear coat, right here. This gun has made me a lot of money, and yours will too. So you're going to want to invest in a little gun, maybe a orbital sander, a couple of $100, guys. Not a lot of money. A cheap little grinder to grind down your dents or grind out old body filler if you're repairing classic car, grinding rust down. This is a little Makita. It's a cheap type, but I only paid like $60 for this thing, and I've had it for 10 years. It's still going. All right. So tools, they last forever. It's a one-time investment, and especially if you're looking into this as a hobby, or you want to make money with this skill. You know, use it to do friends' jobs, or you know, you could really make a lot of money doing this. If you could do a little touch-up job, take you a half a day, you could put $300-400 in your pocket. It's a very profitable skill, and I highly recommend you looking into it. All right. As for air compressor, you don't need to invest in those huge 3-phase compressors. You could get a 240 line, I recommend, okay? A 240 line where you could plug in where your washer and dryer plugs in. Not your washer, but your dryer, okay? A 110 air compressor, you're going to drain a lot of electric out of the house. You might start tripping some breakers. But take a look at this little compressor that I have over here. It's a little 30-gallon. 3 horsepower, you know, 220 volt. It's a quiet type, you know. It's in my garage here at home, and I basically paint touch-ups, motorcycles, mopeds, a whole bunch of. You could paint a car. You could paint a car with this, no problem. But I really don't recommend it because you start to build up condensation, and when it gets a little hot, you want to make sure to have your proper water filters and your filter on your gun at all times. These are only like $7 or $8, but it takes the last minute water from the hose out. So you make sure you don't get no water coming out, because you do not want water in your paint when you're painting. Okay, so these are very cheap. But so if you're doing a complete paint job, I recommend getting at least a 50 to 60 gallon tank. Okay, with at least a 3 to 5 horsepower motor on it. Okay, pumping out some pretty good CFM. We talk about that a little bit more. Just wanted to give you a quick overview for you right now. But I'm actually painting a car tomorrow with a 20-gallon tank, smaller than this one, outside at a location that we're doing. I'm filming a new series of videos to put in the membership site right now. So that project is actually going to be in the membership site very soon. I'm kind of excited to working on that. It's going to be like some pretty crazy stuff. We're going to be painting outside under a tent, because I've been getting a lot of emails from my subscribers and from you guys, people on YouTube and emailing me, how do you paint outside? So I'm making this video. We're going to be painting a Suzuki outside. So I just hope the weather's on my side. I hope we don't get a lot of wind blowing dust on it, but the last time we did a Honda outside there, it came out very nice. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how by painting outside you can really get nice finishes. Really weird, but you do. So again, I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and just, you know, you don't have to go crazy, you don't have to invest in a lot of tools. Like I said, 90% can be done just by a little bit of muscle, and that's it. Alright? So again, it's Tony. I hope you enjoyed everything, and I'll see you in the next videos. Have a great day. Bye-bye.